Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Amplifying Human Ingenuity with Intelligent Technology. It is presented by Claudio Mirti, Principal Solutions Specialist for Data and AI at Microsoft. My name is Judy O'Rourke, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. We're delighted to bring you this educational web seminar presented by LabRoots. LabRoots is the leading scientific social networking website and producer of educational virtual events and webinars. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that this event is interactive. We encourage you to participate by submitting as many questions as you want during the presentation. Simply click on the Ask a Question box located on the far left of your screen and type your questions into the drop-down box. Our speaker will respond to your questions via email following the presentation. If you have trouble seeing or hearing the presentation, please click on the Ask a Question box to let us know that you're experiencing a problem. This presentation is educational and thus offers continuing education credits. Please click on the Continuing Education Credits tab located in the top right corner of the presentation window and follow the process to obtain your credits. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Claudio Mirti. I will now turn the presentation over to him.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. So I will welcome you to the first section about to explore and a little bit explain why data analytics and artificial intelligence are coming so very important at the moment, because we want to draw and want to have data-driven insights and action in our world where we are working on. So if I go through artificial intelligence and analytics, promise really an important topic that is in every company. So because with the data, we want to know what happens. So we call them reports, as we know everyone, what did it happen, to make it interactive dashboards. But now the future wants to know, what should I do, or at least what should I do when you have to have recommendations or automation based on your data. It's a little bit explaining when you're considering the weather forecast and want you know when I have to get an umbrella with me and when should I take it. So, and that is also with the data-driven decision that it accelerates the all digital transformation where we are working on. So cloud, data, intelligence, this is our words that are very common in our world we are working on. But when we go back and say for years we had to learn to use the technology, but today AI helps us, the technology, to learn from us and our data, and maybe as well to discover new ways that be helpful in our work. So if we are going back and the things where the capabilities are, then we have seen come about the past few years, we will see that there is a huge new generation coming up, and that is the generation where we can use a technology like AI. But why now? Because now we say democratizing artificial intelligence, the technology is already here and we can use it and help to transform our business. But our business based in the pharmaceutical industry, as an example, is they need more information for a precise medication, or maybe they have difficulties to bring the drug to market or to reduce the time to market. And as well, there is a lot of challenges in cost or for people who are not taking their medication. How we can support this healthcare or this pharmaceutical, these challenges where the healthcare industry is focusing on. And in order to deliver these key imperatives, I think there are 4 topics that are really interesting for the pharmaceutical. One is the innovation, a faster drug discovery, clinical trial efficiency, but as well regulatory compliance. And innovation for new treatment and research and development are some of the basics that is really crucial. But when we are talking about artificial intelligence, it's important that we have to know that it's really supports the principles about fair, accountable, transparent, and ethical. So it's also to augment, but to achieve more, but always to respect and to assist humanity. And that it's very important when we developing or when we starting our journey with artificial intelligence. Because transforming in healthcare is important to improving really well-being around the world and the patients as well to support them. So when we're talking about all the example with AI and the information that we get is all about as well the machine learning part. And if I take an example is if you take a vial of a blood example and if you hold that in your hands, you have over 1 million of T cells, and how you get sequencing of the DNA is the huge amount of this information. You can only transcript or extract the information using machine learning. That helps as well for the immune system to identify or unlock diagnostics, and as well to find new disease, to treat new disease in this environment. So, and this information will be only possible with machine learning and the huge compute power that supports that process. But both of them, I think, is something that helps to go really on a patient-centric approach, because we have there different capabilities that can support treatments, clinical trials, or as well the collaboration research, because based of them, we are also in a connected world that we can help the base as well with the name of Internet of Things, have their really end-to-end process who supports the data from collecting from the device over to transform and as well analyze it and dashboarding it using technology who is today available. But these are really health industry challenges. And when we go back, and I think one of the main topics is really that we have these challenges, more people, long lifespans, more chronic disease, but the strained budget. I think these are the challenges that the healthcare industry is addressing actually. But what we want to achieve is really to have to transform the sick care system goal that we have for everyone in the organization, quick and easy access to the right information. And this should be where technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other topics could support the healthcare industry. And the important thing, I say, when we as a Microsoft offer this technology, we are talking about a platform company. So we provide the end-to-end technology that our partners or solution provider can build powerful technology using our services. And when we say empowering health transformation, then we have some 4 pillars. So one we say, of course, in the patient, in the middle, then empower care teams and clinical operational effectiveness, and to transform the care continuum. That means really addressing and using technology like Internet of Things, where we can provide insights connecting devices. But of course, there are as well some other challenges, and I think the data constraints there, where we have old data repositories and as well a process, but with the old thinking that we can as well use this data and enrich it. We have here as well, when we go in another example, when it's all about the data, is about advanced analytics and health that will help really on real time, but as well to use the Internet of Things. And that are the two main topics that we can address with our technology as well to help on different solutions. As example, when we say optimization of clinical and operational effectiveness, so what are the recommended treatments options based on successful outcomes for similar patients, as an example. When we go to health population is how our platform have the intelligence to take the data out, but as well to prevent hospitalization. Another example is how we can identify which treatments have been most effectiveness for patients with specific demographics. So this goes really in personalized medication. And one of the important thing is, of course, the quality control. It has to be the data is most useful when it can give you an immediate picture. But what should I do? What we can maybe help other departments as well to analyze the data and really fast to support then other departments as well, mostly from organizational point of view. And of course, mitigation risk is always about standards of care and the compliance to have it always in front and to respect the data privacy. Well, and again, as I think move towards a patient-centric approach to health is always like really to support like systems of insights and system of engagement. That means really to move forwards to connected, but as well to supportive healthcare. And as it could be like clinical decision support that we hear all the time. So when we say engage patient, then we can summarize a little bit from all the technology that are available today is really provide patients with more information about medications they are taking to help them make most of their treatments. Then research team, I think one of the challenges is always when they work, a lot of different research groups working together. I think collaboration and enable collaboration across organizational and regional boundaries, because that's the important thing that they can share their insights. Optimize clinical and operational effectiveness. I think leverage data with advanced analytics and all that information that we can use, and as well to give researchers faster insights. And at least transformation of health is really that we can say lower time to markets with more efficient operations empowered by machine learning, because this is something that really helps to process a large amount of data. And everything what Microsoft is really empowering in the health organization is really well scalable and with the cloud capabilities and highly secure and compliant. And one thing that is always in our mind and using with our Microsoft AI platform that we call in different A's like services, we have infrastructure, we have all the tool set. We explaining a little bit to playing Lego, but is really to use different services is always about to have the high PA, I think the certification, and as well to be compliant and to support all regulatory standards who are relevant for every player in the healthcare industry. Based on that is, as a last point, and it's really important not only to have happy patients, but as well that we have a collaboration that can use connected device, transform the data, support personalized treatment, and remote monitoring, effective in clinical trials, all that data that we collect, that we can support the patient for his journey, during his journey, that we can then address the right medication, but as well to support him with the right information he needs, that we can reduce at least his pain and support during the clinical decision support when researchers as well working together, and we have this end-to-end process where we support with our technology. And last but not least, I would say thank you for having a huge view about the capabilities and what we have, and happy to answer your question if you want to know more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudio, for that informative presentation. I would also like to thank LabRoots for making today's educational webcast possible. Before we go, I want to let everyone know that this webcast will be available for on-demand viewing through May 14th, 2019. And as a final reminder, our speaker will follow up with any questions you've submitted via email. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.